Hello B-Bros and welcome back to another War Thunder video. This time I'm going to be doing a video on some of the, well, one of the British tanks devblogs that has just started coming out. That's right, we are actually finally going to be getting British tanks. It's been a while. I haven't been doing any videos recently, and the reason for that is, well, they were just getting a bit of a hassle. I just felt like I had to do them, and I wasn't enjoying making them, so I just decided to take a bit of a break and then do them as I felt like them, and I just felt like I had to show you guys some of the new devblogs as they come out for British tanks. So that's what we're going to be looking at, as you saw in the intro there. We have got a Churchill devblog. We've got the Churchill Mk.III and the Churchill Mk.VII. So, starting off having a look at the Mk.III, as far as I can tell, this thing is probably going to be a late tier 2 heavy tank. It's got the 6-pounder gun, the 57mm gun, which is a very good gun, and obviously very fast firing. It's also obviously a very slow tank. It's a Churchill, it's going to be very slow. It's a Churchill, so it's obviously very well armoured. It's also going to be in the infantry tank line, which is going to be started off with the Tetrarch, as we can see here. That has been confirmed as being the reserve tank for the infantry line. We have actually seen the Churchill Mk.III before, as you might remember, from when they first did a devblog on British tanks. However, it's actually changed colour, interestingly. They've changed the base camouflage colour from beige to green, or more of a dark tan, but from tan to green, and I think that's a rather interesting point, because there are certain tanks, to me at least, that just would not fit in green. I mean, things like the Valentine, the Churchill, and say the Tetrarch, they work in green, they were used in green quite a lot. However, tanks like the, say, Comet, they just don't look right in green. So I'm interested to see how they get around that, whether they do something similar to the German Mk.III, where they have the later tier German tanks tend to be beige camouflage, whereas the earlier tier ones tend to be grey, and in fact some of them do have camouflage pattern as well. Anyway, yes, that's going to be interesting, and yeah, so the Churchill Mk.VII is the other one in the devblog. This is obviously a later modification of the Churchill. It has, I believe, much better armour on the front, which was, I believe, better than the Tiger's frontal armour, which is quite an impressive thickness. And an interesting point from the devblog, in the description of the Churchill Mk.VII, it was mentioned that it was primarily designed to fight Tigers. Now, and then it went on to say that the 75mm gun on the Churchill Mk.VII was only good against German medium tanks. Now, I find that's an interesting point, because it doesn't really give us any clues as to where it will be in the tech tree. It could be a 5.7 against Tigers. I doubt it, because it's slow and it doesn't have a very good gun, but it could be, and it could also be a much lower tier, since it's said against German medium tanks, probably such as the Mk.III. Probably not counting the Panther. I mean, it's a medium tank, but it's hardly a medium tank, so anyway, yes, so the Churchill Mk.VII and the Churchill Mk.III, I think they're going to be very good additions to War Thunder. Can't wait to be grinding down the infantry tank line, and of course the cruiser line when that eventually gets released. A couple of other bits and bobs about British tanks. We have had, not confirmation, but at least a, not a promise, but a hint. No, hint's not quite the right word, but it's, we've had a comment on someone asked in a comment on a Facebook post about British tanks, when they're going to be released, and War Thunder commented saying, hopefully if everything goes well, by the end of this month. So that will be very interesting, and it's all just sort of hit me. It's British tanks, they're going to be this month. That is just amazing, I cannot wait. And in other news, I've renamed my squadron. It was previously number 266 Squadron, after the squadron that Biggles is in, from the popular Biggles books. However, it's now going to be called the 6th Armoured Division, after the British division that was in service in both Africa, Tunisia and Italy. And yeah, so that's going to be accepting applications pretty soon. Not immediately, I've still got to get the website up. That's going well, but still not quite finished. And I've also got to set up the TeamSpeak server. But it is looking good, and we're going to be focusing obviously on British tanks when they get released. And hopefully participating in a couple of matches once we get enough members. I've been, as you might have seen, I've been doing a lot of work on the trailer for the 101st Panzer Division, Heavy Panzer Battalion, there we go. I always get their name confused, but they were very impressed with that, and hopefully I can convince Bagel to allow me to be in one of their matches. However, they are simulator battles, which I've never really played before, although as far as I'm aware, simulator tank battles are basically RB, except from the Cupola, which could be very interesting, and I quite like the look of it actually. It's not so good in random battles, I think, because it's not as fun, you know, it's because it's obviously it is system rules as simulator battles, but you still don't feel like because you don't know the people in the other tanks, so you don't feel as cool. But yeah, so that's going to be interesting. If you wish to apply to that, send in an application on the actual game, in-game, to the division, which is currently called 6th Armour Division, the abbreviation being 6AD, and also send a application as a reply to the recruitment office on the mess hall forum in the 6th Armour Division website, which is actually up. It is up. I have got a link to it in the description of the squadron, and it's up. It's not very good. It's not very near finished, but if you want to go and reply now, just so you get in sooner, that is something you can do. Just please don't exploit any bugs or anything that might be in the system, because I haven't really figured out how to set up administrator rights for the forum, so it's possible that everybody has administrator rights. But anyway, yeah, so that's pretty much it from me today. As you can tell, this is a very short video. Just wanted to give you guys a quick update. I'll probably be trying to put videos out on some of the other British Tanks devblogs, because it's obviously there are going to be 30 tanks, around 30 tanks available for the British tree on release, and that is going to be this month, and the devblogs have only just started, and if they keep up with the pattern of 2 tanks per devblog, then they're going to be doing devblogs basically every day. So I don't think I'll be able to quite keep up with that, but I'll keep you guys updated as much as I can, and I'll see you next time.